Hello family, friends, and YouTube. Well, I have decided that since I have the bike in this position and strapped down like this to create a perfect center from my angle video that you've just watched, may have just watched, I decided I'm going to go ahead and shave off these PANICAL air deflectors while I'm at it. Because I'm never probably ever going to put the bike in this position again, so let's just go ahead and take care of it and help out my fellow Goldwing riders that happen to have these PANICAL air deflectors, and maybe help out PANICAL on how to build their air deflectors. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do in this video. So I'm going to take the air, I've already measured where I know the angle would be, and it's basically from the bottom corner. I'll explain it to you when we do a table version of it. But it's going to go 2 inches in from the bottom drag corner. You'll know your corners, if you have these deflectors, you've dragged them already. That corner piece that drags, you're going to come in 2 inches from that on the bottom. And you're going to make a mark there, and then we're going to go all the way up to where it starts its original angle downward. And that's the line we're going to create it using a Dremel, whatever tool. I don't even know what tool yet. We'll see in this video. All right, I removed the air deflector from the left side of the bike, and as you can see, that its shape. This is its shape. And right here, you can see on this one, not too bad. The other side, I guess I lean more to the right and I drag a lot more, but you can see right there where it's just burning itself off. So how are we going to address that? We're just going to measure over 2.5 inches here, and then we're going to go to this where it's already started to curve in at. So I have a little mark there for 2.5 inches. But I guess since I'm doing the video, let's just do this. Let's go ahead and lay the tape out here. Going to go right there. You see 2 inches right there. I don't know why I said 2.5, I meant 2. You make your mark right there. And then we are going to actually go all the way up to right when it starts to curve. So 2 inches, and then right when it starts to curve. So as you can see, in all reality, PANICAL, anybody that's listening, we don't want this piece. We want this piece right here, this black piece right here, gone. Shave that down, and that should give us all the lean angle we need, because if we hit anything all the way up here, we've already dragged our foot peg. So let me go ahead and I guess get out a Dremel and see what that does. I'm not going to be all straight, but let's see how I do. All right, I got a cutting wheel on here, maybe it's an 1.25 inch cutting wheel. I don't know. Got a cardboard box to try to hopefully hold it together so I don't cut too much. But let's do a test cut. All right, that's not going to be too hard to cut through. The whole trick is I want it to look right, so I'm going to take my time. All right, there's that piece shaved off. Of course, I'm going to sand this also, so don't worry about that cut. But as you can see, that's what I took off. And I'm gonna sand this down, hopefully good enough to make it look like it came from the factory. But You may not need ear protection, but eye protection is important because this is fiberglass flying everywhere. That's a pretty clean cut. Look at that. That is a pretty straight cut. Now I'm gonna do the other one. There's no need for me to keep you recording while I do the other one, but I'll get the other one knocked out the way. And then I'm gonna sand this down and I'll show you the finished product before I reinstall them. All right, as you can see, they're done. Cleaned off a little bit and sanded down a little. I might do a little bit more sanding, but they are. Here's the right one, and then here's the left one. You know, and of course they're made a little different based on which side they go on anyway, but you can see this protrudes much further than the other one. But anyway, we're going to test our angles out here in just a second and see what we got to work with. And see what we got. Sliding under, hitting, coming up. It would have to hit here. So basically, in order for you to drag, you now have 30.1. Your foot peg drag is 32. So that's exactly what we want. We want this to drag first before we ever hit our foot peg. So if this was to drag, then I know I'm just about ready to hit my foot peg. That's exactly the measurements we want. I don't think the look has altered. If I wouldn't have told you that I trimmed them, you probably would have never known. But again, I have the measurements, as I mentioned to you, from the original curve that was right here, inward is 2 inches, then make a mark there and then come up to where the deflector starts to do its natural curve from the factory. So that's how I did it. PANICAL, that's how you should do it. Well, I hope you found this video informative. Many of us YouTubers, this is what they call us, content creators, whatever. This is just fun for me. But we do this so you don't have to. So the measurements are already made for you. I took the entire day out to do all of this so that you would know exactly how to trim your deflectors should you want to, or you can continue to scrape the curve every time you turn. Now I can go to the tail of the dragon and really have a good time. But before I finish this video, I gotta go for a test ride. I'll be right back, because I'm gonna try to drag these foot pegs. Well, Snowee and I got back from our ride. I did my bobbing, weaving, and trying to generate a scrape without being stupid. And now I do not scrape on normal curves. So that is how you do it. And if anybody's interested in, you know, trimming their foot protectors. But until next time, just live your life.